Finger bling never goes out of fashion, and according to myths, neither does warding off evil spirits. You might be surprised to learn that, according to Engagement Rings magazine, when it comes to placement, there are technically no official rules stating that an engagement ring must be worn on the left hand. Still, the left finger ring is traditionally symbolic of romantic intentions or marital status. While this notion is most prominent in Western countries, the concept actually goes all the way back to the Romans, who believed that a vein located in this finger led directly to the heart. On the other hand, pardon the pun, in some cultures it's actually the right ring finger that's reserved for declaring one's relationship status. Countries like Germany, Russia, and India follow this practice. While there's no shortage of meanings when it comes to wearing rings on your fingers, the coolest stated that wearing rings is generally seen as a sign of wealth, regardless of your culture. This is because rings typically have little use beyond their physical appearance. On the other hand, while rings are still a popular accessory, Merriam-Webster noted that the history of the phrase ring finger is genuinely shocking. In ancient times, some people believed that wearing a ring on your ring finger could potentially cure sickness. Still, that's not even the strangest notion connected to the term. Another earlier name for the fourth finger was leech finger. Similarly, this expression stemmed from the belief that this finger could cure ailments. However, in order for this finger to enact its healing powers, it would need to be pinched or pricked. Bloodletting was also used as a treatment. Another bizarre name for this digit was the nameless finger, which was briefly used during the 17th century. Yes, we understand the irony.
Nameless is a name.
Who doesn't love to accessorize with a pinky ring? Whether you want to show off a flashier piece or something more subtle, there's no question that when adorned with jewelry, this little finger can make a seriously stunning statement. Likewise, as noted by Love to Know, a pinky ring has numerous meanings, one of which is family pride. According to the outlet, this notion is typically connected to Scottish families, many of whom have a lengthy history when it comes to participating in battles. So, to show off their Scottish pride, some individuals chose to wear a pinky ring adorned with their family crest. Historically, a family crest would declare which clan you belonged to, as well as your rank within your family. Additionally, a pinky ring can also be seen as a sign of independence, so those rocking one might be doing so to declare their love for themselves. For example, Love to Know stated that while an engagement or wedding ring reveals your relationship status, the pinky ring actually reflects the opposite and symbolizes self-love instead of romantic love. It's also worth noting that during the Victorian era, men and women both wore pinky rings to keep away any unwanted romantic suitors. The historical background of the pinky ring goes to show that this small digit has been warding off unwanted affections and promoting independence for quite some time. As noted by Love to Know, a pinky ring can signify power. Celebs like Ringo Starr, Drake, Future, and Brad Pitt have all been known to wear jewelry on their little finger. This is likely because pinky rings have been associated with wealth and success. But where does this notion come from? Well, according to Town & Country, wearing pinky rings was popularised during the Victorian era by British nobles like Queen Victoria's sons, who took influence from the Germans and took to the concept of stacking wedding and signet rings on their pinky fingers. This royal trend has become long-standing and even continues to this day with Prince Charles. This idea even found its way to individuals like Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who impressed Winston Churchill by showing off his finger bling. Likewise, as stated by Fratello Watches, other famous and influential individuals who have worn pinky rings include Oscar Wilde, Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, James Brown, and Jay-Z. Still, Town & Country noted that one doesn't need to be royal or famous to rock a pinky ring. According to Evan Yerman, the chief creative officer at David Yerman, the notion of men wearing pinky rings has changed as men have become more fashion-focused. Yerman explained, "Besides a wedding ring, a pinky ring is often a man's most personal ring, an essential part of his style, something you can wear every day." Jeweller Bryony Raymond similarly declared that men's pinky rings boost confidence. As reported by the Diamonds Factory, the ring finger is believed to symbolize forever love, as well as beauty and creativity. It's also alleged that this finger is linked to the Greek god Apollo. With these connections, it should come as no surprise that the ring finger is generally given romantic associations. Love to Know stated that in most Western countries, this finger is typically reserved for an engagement ring and/or a wedding ring. These rings are meant to symbolize one's marital status or engagement. However, this finger has also also been used to showcase romantic intentions through promise rings, or even to indicate abstinence with a chastity or purity ring.
Ah, the ring of love. Just holding it makes me feel mellow and content.
The wedding band itself also has an extensive and intriguing history. It initially appeared approximately 4,800 years ago in Egypt and was meant to be a sign of eternal devotion. The round shape is meant to represent the concept of forever and limitlessness. Likewise, the exchanging of rings declares two individuals' everlasting love for one another.
Let's get you that egg.
Oh, thank you.
Here it is.
That's not an egg, that's your middle finger.
While giving someone the middle finger is considered a rude gesture, showing off some sparkly bling on this digit indicates something entirely different. As reported by Lux, a woman wearing a ring on her middle finger could signify that she is not engaged or married. Also, according to the outlet, this finger is the most noticeable digit, as it is typically the lengthiest one on your hand. So, sporting some jewelry on this finger won't go unnoticed. In addition to revealing one's marital status, it's stated that wearing a ring on this finger could be symbolic of power or representative of balance. Similarly, Real Men, Real Style reaffirms that the middle finger indicates equilibrium and responsibility. Additionally, the center finger is linked to the planet Saturn due to its location. Since the planet's metal is lead, the write-up stated that basic grey metals such as steel are generally chosen for those sporting a ring on their middle finger. However, wearing rings on this digit is actually quite unusual for men. This is because anything bulkier can get in the way of performing simple tasks. So, if you're going to rock some bling on this finger, you'll want to keep your jewelry simple to avoid any issues. But regardless of this obstacle, the outlet stated that plenty of first-time male ring wearers prefer wearing a ring on this finger and see it as empowering. As stated by Albert Hearn, the index or pointing finger is connected to leadership, possibilities, drive, and a sense of self-confidence. So, rings on the index finger, whether on the left or right hand, are representative of power and the ability to lead others. The Romans associated this digit with the planet Jupiter, aka the father of the gods. As a result, gemstones like blue topaz are typically picked for index finger jewelry. Additionally, the outlet noted that in traditional Jewish ceremonies, it's common for women to wear basic, precious metal wedding rings on their index fingers. Similarly, Cladwright reported that for men, wearing a ring on the index finger can be symbolic of strength, power, or openness. Likewise, it stated that a ring on the index finger is immediately noticeable, and men who typically favour wearing a ring on this digit are those who hold authority and are looking to flaunt their higher-held positions. Notably, the index finger is also the most common one for a man to wear a ring on. Still, despite this digit's popularity for ring wearing, Cladwright stated that rocking a chunkier ring on this finger can ultimately get in the way of completing everyday tasks like typing. Instead, the outlet recommends trying out a signet ring if you want to show off eye-catching jewelry on your index finger.
Ah! What's in your hand? Thumb ring!
While a thumb ring has numerous meanings, it's also notably connected to both spiritual beliefs as well as mythology. According to Something Borrowed, one old superstition believed that wearing a thumb ring would act as protection from the influence of evil spirits. This belief was not uncommon, as the outlet noted that the idea that a thumb ring could drive away illness, misfortune, or even magic has been present throughout history. In a more practical and modern sense, a ring on a woman's left thumb can indicate strength, social status, or individuality. It can also signify freedom. Additionally, unlike other fingers, a thumb ring is unlikely to get in the way of day-to-day activities and is the perfect digit for wearing multiple rings on. Cladwright reported that for men, wearing a thumb ring can be a sign that you are self-confident or possibly forceful. According to Leaf, in addition to its other associations, a thumb ring can also be used to signify the wearer's sexual orientation as well as their relationship status. For example, rocking a ring on the left thumb can indicate that a person is in a romantic relationship, while in contrast, jewelry on the right thumb suggests that the person is single. Vice reported that it shouldn't be a shock that women who identify as LGBTQ+ have embraced the thumb ring, because the thumb ring is a neutral piece of jewelry, appearing neither traditionally masculine nor feminine. It appeals to a broader range of LGBTQ+ individuals who can easily accessorize this ring in accordance with their own personal style.